Welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Network, coming to you from the TeacherCast studios since 2011. Join us each week as we bring you the latest educational news, EdTech updates, and hottest interviews with today's most influential leaders in education. And now, for your host, Jeff Bradbury.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Network. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. This is the TeacherCast Podcast episode number 226, and today I am so excited because of some great things that are happening in the world of Lego education. We are dropping this only minutes after a brand new keynote from our friends over at the Lego Education Company. And today with me on our show, we have the head of education impact for the U.S. Lego education team. I am so excited to have her on today. But before we do that, I want to say to you guys, it has been a great summer. I am looking forward to an amazing school year. We've got a lot of great stuff happening over here on TeacherCast. Don't forget, you can find all of our great coaching resources, our EdTech resources, all over on teachercast.net. I'm excited to share that our YouTube channel just passed 2 million views and 15,000 subscribers. And I'm excited that we just also hit our 10-year anniversary with TeacherCast. So I want to say thank you guys for a great summer, and I'm looking forward to all the great content coming up. My guest today is Dr. Jenny Nash, Head of Education Impact for the U.S. Lego Education Team. Jenny, how are you today? Welcome back to TeacherCast.
Oh, Jeff, I'm so good. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to get to be here and share with you today.
I am so excited to have you on today. I just got done watching the amazing keynote from Lego Education, and today we are here to talk about all the news, the updates, and what we're in store for this year as we head into a fantastic and probably still crazy educational year. But before we get into all the great details, talk to us a little bit about what we just learned. Talk to us about all the great things that happened at the keynote address.
Yeah, I'm so excited actually to get to share this with you. It's a pretty big announcement. We've expanded our hands-on learning portfolio with the new Lego Education Spike Essential. Now, this is a primary school solution, and it's meant to ignite students' passion in STEAM learning through playful problem solving and storytelling. So it's a really exciting new experience for our elementary students. Now, with the launch of Spike Essential, we're also announcing our Lego Learning System. So, Jeff, I'm really excited to dig in and talk a lot about the Lego Learning System with you.
I love that you guys are constantly evolving these products. I remember the first time we met when we were talking about Spike Prime and all the great things it can do in the classroom. I know there's still teachers out there that are interested in learning more about Lego education. Talk to us a little bit about what Lego education is, maybe how is it different from other Lego type products, and how is Lego education being used in the classroom these days?
Absolutely. So Lego Education is part of the bigger Lego company. And for 40 years, we've been delivering hands-on, playful learning experiences in STEAM classrooms. And this really means that we're focused on classrooms, students, teachers, learning outcomes, thinking about students gaining knowledge and skills through playful learning experiences. And these are very purposeful playful learning experiences because we want to enable every student to succeed into the future. And that really comes through having real world experiences, problem solving, growing their knowledge, their skills, anything that gets them experiencing learning in a way that also lets them have fun doing it.
Now, Lego education sets are similar to traditional Lego sets, but they come with so much more. They have curriculum, they have guides, they have educator accessories to help them be able to bring this in. Talk to us a little bit about what somebody can expect to see when they pick up their copy of Spike Essential.
Yeah, so it's so much more than just the materials that they're purchasing and bringing into the classroom. It's really about the fact that students are experiencing learning through curriculum that's built from standards. And so we're going to have those teaching materials available for teachers to drive home those outcomes and skills that we talk about. We're going to ensure that there's professional development for the teachers so that they're comfortable and confident in bringing those materials to life. We launched earlier this year our professional development learning platform. That's a platform that's free and available. Teachers can go right in and learn from that. Those lesson plans are also free and available for teachers. There's also the coding software for some of our solutions that allow them to program and bring their builds to life. So it's not just using that familiar Lego brick that is part of the set. It's really how they use that to drive learning. So we're building, we're creating, we're programming, but all in order to drive that learning in the end.
Now, this new Spike Essentials set is for which level grades?
Yeah, so I'd love to dive in and talk a little bit about how it fits with all of our solutions, because you mentioned Spike Prime. And when we think about Lego Education Spike Essential, we're thinking about our primary students, our elementary students. And it's really developed in a way that it drives into Spike Prime. So the other big thing that we announced earlier today was really the Lego Learning System. And this is a revolutionary approach to bringing learning to life in classrooms, igniting a passion for learning in our students through a system of learning that builds year after year. Now, included in that system is Lego Education Spike Essential, Lego Education Spike Prime, and also our Lego Education Brick Q Motion Essential and Brick Q Motion Prime. So it's the interconnection of these different materials and the learning outcomes that we've built that will loop learning for students year after year and let them have a familiar tool to learn with, not only for the students, but the teachers to also have a familiar tool to learn with. And what's so amazing about it is the fact that there's nothing out there like this that builds from a playful learning pedagogy to let students really enjoy and bring that learning to life through their natural curiosities.
When a teacher is using Lego education products in the classroom, what does that classroom look like? Is it a bunch of students playing with Lego brick? Is it more than that?
It's so much more than that. And I think that sometimes when we walk into those classrooms, it feels energizing because students are working and building, they're talking and collaborating. You know, learning's really happening because they've been ignited into thinking about what could be, what could I create, what problem am I trying to solve. There's a lot of storytelling happening, and you're going to see that a lot with the Spike Essential materials because they're solving a problem with a character. So they're empathizing with that character. They're understanding what they need and how to solve that problem, and they're helping create those solutions. So there's that social emotional learning that's happening in the classroom at the same time as, you know, they're using design engineering skills. They're using computational thinking skills because they're finding ways to debug and get a program to work that they're working with. So it's just an intersection of a lot of different types of skills all at once.
I'm glad you mentioned the social emotional aspect of this because as we start the school year, so many teachers are worried that their kids don't remember how to interact with each other, don't remember how to learn traditionally. And I love that these sets are tactile, they're physical. You know, students are not in front of a screen to learn this. They have to have that communal aspect to class. Why is that so important? And even as we're starting the year, why is it important to get kids physically just interacting with each other?
Yeah, and I love that question because I think it really stops and gets us thinking about where are we with learning right now? I mean, it's just been unprecedented times and everything that's happened, and it's really driven that mantra that we need students to love learning again. We need students to be passionate about their learning, and really we need to reimagine what that learning can look like. And I think when we talk about that purposeful play, we start to resurface this idea that we need to rethink learning. And I think you heard that in the messages this morning during our announcement, is that we've tried to take an approach of thinking about how do we re-engage students? How do we reimagine learning? What can it be and what's going to drive us into the future? And that really comes back to that idea that it's time to rethink learning. And we believe the way to do that is through this learning through purposeful play. It's going to open that natural ability for students to come in and engage again in school in a familiar way. Being able to play with ideas and try things and have that familiar Lego brick, for example, is a really great way to re-enter the classroom in a confident way. Students have shown a lot of resilience over the last, several months, and our teachers too. And we want to help them come back in with that passion and have joyful, impactful, meaningful learning happen. And we think hands-on learning is a great way to do that.
You know, we were talking before the recording started about the fact that my triplets here have had basically a summer of Lego. And one of the things that I loved about this entire summer is that they started this summer off really not understanding the concepts. They could put bricks together, but they didn't quite get it yet. And it was neat to be able to work with them, see them go hands-on. And 2 months later, now that the summer's over, I mean, my second graders, my goodness, they're second graders now, are building the Technic sets, and they're doing these intricate designs, and their imaginations are just exploding. I know you get a chance to work with students and teachers throughout the country. What is it like to see students just completely blossom by putting two little bricks together and seeing anything that they want come to life?
It's amazing to see that aha moment, right? And I think that's what's so motivating about having materials like this in the classroom and just like having them at home. We want students to love learning. We want students to enjoy learning and have that meaning derived from it because I figured it out. I got this to work, right? Those are skills, believe it or not, even though it's a joyous experience that we talk about. It's those 21st century skills, that design engineering that meets critical thinking. It's solving a problem and having the ability to have a growth mindset, think of a new idea or collaborate with somebody to get a new idea. It's that ability to fail and be okay with it because I just learned a way that didn't work and now I'm okay and moving right on to the next way that it works. And I think that's what we see happening constantly in classrooms. And the thing that we've tried to bring to life even more with the Lego learning system, because it's intuitive. Mm-hmm. This is happening naturally. It's intuitive in the classroom and it's adaptable. It allows you to bring this type of playful learning experience into any classroom environment and meet the students where we are. And it's inclusive. Every kid, every child, every student can be successful when they're playing. They can find their route, their voice, and their way to find success when we're letting them play through, naturally fail, naturally ask questions, and find those successes in the end. And so having that ability to be inclusive for all students to succeed, that's our main goal.
You keep mentioning it's for all students and it's for all, ability levels. Talk to us a little bit about how that's possible. You have a great curriculum that comes in each of these kits. Who creates it? How is it put together? And really, how does what's the first thing a teacher does after they open up those boxes?
Yeah, so the exciting part, Jeff, right, is that we work with teachers. This is created by educators. It's tested by educators. It's something that really comes from those 40 years of experience when we create these materials. And we've been very thoughtful and purposeful in the way that we make sure teachers are prepared so that they have the resources to get started. They have the professional development to know, I've never had materials like this in my classroom. How do I unlock this and where do I go with it? And coding, I've never coded before. How do I do this in my classroom? We get those questions constantly. So we've got that professional development there to support them. So we've tried to really be thoughtful about, how we create it to make sure that it has the user, the teacher, and the students in mind. And also, again, we've built it from standards to ensure that it's purposeful in the classroom. It's got a place to live and be successful. And I think the other big piece of all of it is just that we want to think about students and their learning journey. So how do we meet every student? It's about stopping and understanding that journey. And that's the purpose of the system, right? Is that we are with them year after year. We're thinking about where do they start? Well, the journey includes the curriculum. It includes the familiar Lego bricks. Our smallest builders aren't ready for Technic bricks, the more complicated brick system to build with, just like they're not ready for text-based coding. We want to get everybody to text-based coding, but we need to start with the basic icon block. And so we've been thoughtful in the hardware, the software, the programming that they're going to be doing, the familiar bricks that they use, the curriculum, and the professional development. We've built it across the system to ensure that learners can enter where they are. So it doesn't matter if you've had coding experience or not. We've got an entry point for you. It doesn't matter if you've had building experiences or not. We've got an entry point so that everyone can be successful. But we've also got a point that we want to get students to. We've got a high ceiling that we want to push everybody towards. So we've got that progression built so that we can ensure they're successful, no matter where they start.
Talking today to Dr. Jenny Nash, Head of Education Impact for Lego Education. And today, with this big announcement, everybody has the same question. How do I get it? Where do I go? What comes in it? How much? Jenny, give us a little bit of the details about how does a school district bring something like this into their buildings?
I hope that question comes to everyone and they see the opportunity that we have to impact students by bringing something like Spike Essential and Spike Prime into their classrooms. I do hope that everyone will visit our website, legoeducation.com, to learn more about the materials. For our Spike Essential set, that's going to be about $279. If you get into our Lego Education Brick Cube Motion Essential set, for example, that's going to be more of a $99 range. So we've got something that's an easy entry point that can be expanded as you dive farther into the system. We also have our educational sales team and our solution architecting team that's ready to work with districts to think about the plan that's best for them. How do we take where you are with your curriculum and pull this right in? Again, it's adaptable. It's going to fit right into everything you're doing, and we want to be able to support teachers to do that.
Now, with each of those sets, how does a school district determine how many sets to get? Is it by student? Is it by project, curriculum? How do you determine what you need to purchase?
We really want students collaborating, so we really recommend a 2-to-1 student ratio, 2 students to 1 set, so that they're working together in their creations. And we really find that that's a nice balance because it allows for plenty of materials for students to create with, and also that idea that lots of different ideas can come together in the classroom for a lot of solution diversity.
Dr. Nash, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show one more time. I am excited after seeing that keynote today. I am so super excited, not only for what my students can be doing, but what my kids can be doing here in school. I've seen a lot of great things from them as we work together over the last couple of years. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds for Lego education and really for this school year. Any final thoughts before we close out today on what you're looking forward to seeing from this school year and beyond?
Yeah, and I was so excited to join you as well, Jeff. I think that, I'm just really excited to go into the school year with our big announcement and focus on rethinking learning and how we can really re-engage students in learning through the Lego learning system, and especially with using materials like the Lego Education Spike Essential in classrooms. I'm just really excited to see how these student learning outcomes come to life, what our teachers are able to do with this in their classroom, and to really see that learning continue as students progress with the system.
The website is legoeducation.com/meet Spike Essential. We're going to have all the links over on our show notes. This is TeacherCast Podcast episode number 226. And with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. On behalf of Dr. Jenny Nash and Lego Education and everybody here, my name is Jeff Bradbury, reminding you guys to keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students.
You've been listening to the TeacherCast Educational Network, hosted by Jeff Bradbury. Please reach out to the show with all of your questions on Twitter @TeacherCast or online at www.teachercast.net. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And please take a moment to write a review in the App Store.